Hi, my name is Vinícius Mattos, I'm 17 years old and I live in Panambi, Brazil. Have you ever stopped to think that several nations spend tens of billions of dollars looking for life out of this planet or in special missions while more than 1/7 of the world's population lives on less than $1.25 per day? And this deadlock between eating or feeding our children, a person dies of hunger every 4 seconds. That's without counting the deaths due to the lack of basic sanitation, accessible water, and water quality, etc. This is not a criticism, it's just an alert. Are governments and big corporations responsible for all this? Or do we have our share of guilt as global citizens? How many times have you and I bought an expensive product because it was fashionable? Or a needed product but in an unnecessary quantity, just because it was on sale? Have you noticed that sometimes if we buy the amount we need and what we need, even in the original price, we spend less? Have you realized that unnecessary consumption and overconsumption can sneakily waste money that could be used to buy food for your family, save money for emergencies, or even help someone in need? And not only that, but excessive consumption increased demand for products, forcing an increase in exploitation of raw materials. As noted by 19th century economist William Stelling Jevons, coal engines, when modified, spent less coal, but at the same time increased the engine's demand, making coal consumption as great as it was. But product sales are not the only reason for excessive consumption. Our world is filled with definitions of beauty and social status that silently make people unhappy with who they are and unhappy with what they have. Having a certain nationality, skin color, religion, culture, or brand of clothing and electronics has the power to make a person more or less attractive to society. These erroneous and prejudiced thoughts turn life into a game of interest where everything is calculated to generate profit and personal well-being, a quest of self-assertion and status. This usually not only blinds us to the needs of others because we are very focused on our utmost social mobility, but it also inhibits us from seeing that many resources used to make our cell phones and our shoes are not eternal. So, in changing the world requires us first to change our minds. That we see ourselves as responsible for the future, knowing that we depend not only on the same planet, but also want each other, promoting equality between people of all culture and races, whether men or women, and promoting the conscious consumption that takes care of the planet and the next generations. At the current rate at which we are consuming, the Earth will not be able to renew itself in time to guarantee the future. Scientists estimate that the peak of oil, coal, and natural gas production, which are the main source of energy today, is expected to occur by 2030, and by that time it will start to steadily decline. Wind energy is efficient but not constant. Almost all rivers have already been dammed. Tidal energy and geothermal energy are restricted to certain areas. If all the energy in the world came from uranium, the reserves of that metal would possibly last from 10 to 20 years. We are seeing no way out. When we see that the factories have used all the raw material, polluted the entire atmosphere, causing more respiratory diseases, and polluted all the water, ending the marine life and harming the maintenance of terrestrial life. When we see that the prejudice and indifference have separated us to a point where there is no more peace, and when we realize that the little actions could have written a different story, it will be too late. But that does not need to happen. Save money for what really matters. Buy only what's necessary. Recycle what's possible. Make a garden at home. Plant a tree. Do not listen to prejudice. Get to know other cultures and learn from them. Adopt a simpler lifestyle. Help others. We are 7 billion brothers and sisters, 7 billion small daily attitudes that can rewrite the future of chaos we are chasing. That is what sustainable development means to me. How will the world of our children and grandchildren be? Are you going to stand still? What does sustainable development mean to you?